to the Loading Up Podcast. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Loading Up Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Producer Jay, with both of my co-hosts, Brother Tay.
Yo.
And Brother Zay.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up, guys? Before we get into everything that we got going on tonight, just want to remind you that if you're watching on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. It'll definitely help us out and reach more people. If you're listening to us on a podcasting app, you can rate us and share us and help us get to the top, because, you know, that's what we want. We want to be the best, because, yeah. If you look in the description, you can see our sponsors, which is W Energy and NordVPN. You could save some money off of subscriptions and products and all that good stuff. And it's definitely worth it. We talk about it every day, or every day, every week. I talk about it every day. I use it every day. And if you help them out, they'll help us out, and we'll thank them. We'll thank you. All right, that's it. Let's get right into it. Brother Tay, what have you been playing?
Backyard baseball.
That's right. I saw that came out. I
Yep.
was gonna get it too.
It's good to see it. All the
Is it-
flashbacks of memory.
Is this nostalgic? I'm sure like it hits the
It's a
spot,
girl.
right?
It's not fully out yet because like it's still like demos and things. I don't think the
Right.
full, but it's so good to see it. It's so funny.
I know. Did you is Pablo Sanchez playable?
Yeah, right now it's Pablo Sanchez, Keisha Phillips, I think, and Dante, because you can only do like a few things. But it's so cool to see it, and it's like very updated.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it still looks.
I have so much like fond memories of playing backyard baseball. Backyard baseball in particular, because I know they had other sports, but for whatever reason, I played backyard baseball more. And I feel like, because I would always go to my cousin's house because they had it, and they had a computer before I did, so I would always just play there or play on their computer while they were playing their newfangled PlayStation 1. I wanted to play backyard baseball. But yeah, no. I hopefully it comes out like full soon, because I think it's like what, preview or something like that.
You get preview and you can do like a home run derby. The full release date is July 9th.
I see. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, they released the demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might play
So
that.
having a great time.
Brother Zay, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot. I beat several games. So I beat Aphelion on Game Pass,
Yeah,
which was
throw it in our faces.
Oh yeah, definitely am. I beat Mixtape, which I enjoyed a lot. I also beat, after 173 hours to be exact, I finally beat Crimson Desert, which was really
Jeez.
good. Yeah, don't listen. It's a good game. You can
No,
power through the story in like 30 hours, right?
yeah.
But I played that game. Okay, I did a lot of stuff. Now there's still a ton of stuff to do, because late game they give you a dragon, and you know, like, they give it to you late game because it's OP, like it's a fucking dragon. You know.
Dragon these nuts on your
So-
face. Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been, I want to go back to continue playing, but I've also been playing because FOMO got me, and I've been playing Forza Horizon 6. I bought the upgraded version of it, so I been playing that. So I'll go back to Crimson Desert to do a lot of stuff, all the side stuff later. But right now I'm knee deep in Forza Horizon 6. Absolutely loving it. Between the music, the visuals, and just driving around Japan, it's awesome.
You know, I was there when it was revealed that you bought it. and brother Matt was giving you a bunch of shit for it, and then he bought it.
And then he went and bought it,
And then you guys tried to get me to buy it. I was like, nah. It's not worth
And
it.
then he bought it. And then he brought it
No,
next week.
I didn't buy it. I didn't buy
He's
it.
buying it next week.
It's literally coming out in 2 days. So
Yes.
He's buying it in
there's-
2 days. What's
no,
different?
No,
it's on.
he's on Game Pass, so he's
It's
gonna play it
on
on
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
I purchased it early so I could play early because when it comes out on Game Pass, I'm gonna be out of work. And I'm like, well, I got a couple days off. Let me purchase it ahead of time so I can play on my days off and have some fun. You know,
Sure.
I get to have a little bit of fun. You know,
I guess.
that's crazy. That's what I've been playing. What have you been playing, Producer J?
Okay. All right. So I do have good news.
Well,
No,
he beat one of his games.
I did. I
I do it.
finally. Well, I beat it already, but like I finally completed it. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I feel like I've been on that for months, and I broke the numbers down, and I'm not shocked, but I'm just like I'm so upset that it took me this long to beat it or to complete it. So like I crunched the numbers. I actually took a picture because I was like astounded by how ridiculous the amount of time it took for me to do this. So it took
Oh.
me 120 hours just for that game. Just one game. That it's a collection of 4 games. And that one game it took me 120 hours. And
Well,
that game should not have taken that long.
Well,
It
to be
takes
fair,
about like maybe 20 hours to beat. But I took 120 because
you were trying to complete it. There's a difference, to be fair.
yes, I was trying to
That's
complete it.
100%.
But what gets me is that regular playtime, it took me maybe like because I know it says 20 hours, but like I did it on the hardest difficulty, so it took me a little bit of time. So I want to say it took me like maybe 30 hours, maybe, and then the rest was just straight grinding. And that was, yes, it was so mind-numbingly annoying just to do the same shit over and over and over and over and over just to grind to level 99, because in that game, for whatever reason, it's just so hard to level up, and it's all RNG. So it's not like there's a surefire way to do it. You have to get lucky. You have to run into the right enemies, get the right cards and power-ups and stuff like that. It was so annoying.
Would have never done that.
Yeah, so it's like it took me a little bit less than it took me to do the entire Mass Effect trilogy. A little less than half of the time it took me to do the Mass Effect trilogy on the hardest difficulty. It took me about half of the time it took me to do the Metal Gear Solid games. And I'm just
Fair.
like, for one game.
To be
It's
fair,
so annoying.
have you ever tried to complete any other Kingdom Hearts games? That shit will take you a month and a half anyway.
Well, I did the first game, and that was fine. And it's just this one, and I knew going into it that it was gonna be like people were
Tougher.
talking about how much of a grind it was gonna be. So I knew what I was getting myself into. I just didn't know how much I was getting myself into.
A lot. It's a lot tougher of a game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Because it took me. I beat Kingdom Hearts 1 like when I was younger to do it. I couldn't beat Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories when I was the teen. The cards and everything just didn't make sense to me.
It honestly it's hard. Like it took me a while the first time I played it when it first came out. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. But yeah, so I'm finally done. I started Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's so much like it's so refreshing to not have to, because like the controls are different, and I know Kingdom Hearts 2 is like more fluid. I know Kingdom Hearts 3 is like the most fluid of like gameplay, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is when it really felt like you had control over what you were doing. So yeah, so I'm finally playing that, and it's so nice. It's like a breath of fresh air. And I don't even care that I'm doing it on the highest difficulty, because I know I'm going to be dying a lot. I don't care. I'd rather die a lot than just be doing the same thing over and over again for 60 plus hours.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how you got through that. I can't do that.
I don't know how I got through it either. And
Sometimes you
what's worse is that not Kingdom Hearts 2, but the one after that is Birth by Sleep. That one
Yo,
is also supposed to
it's
be a
tough.
big grind.
It's tough.
So
And you have to
now,
go. It's three
yeah, it's 3.
stories.
Yeah, it's 3 stories. So I got to do
Oh,
it 3 times.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I as someone who's I've beaten every Kingdom Hearts game to date. But at least the current one starting from like 1. Birth by Sleep, I'm gonna let you know the Terror story. Hate him.
Yeah.
Can't stand him.
I know.
Can't stand his gameplay. I hated it all. But good luck though. I believe in you.
I'm gonna do it. I committed. So, but yeah. So that's the main thing that I've been playing. I also played a little bit of, some more Fortnite. I was playing more of the. If you're watching, this is not my gameplay. It's Brother Zay's. The Galactic. What is it? The Galactic.
I don't even know. It's the Star Wars stuff from Fortnite.
Yeah. I forget what it's called, but I've been playing
Yeah.
that too. Yeah, I also played. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a game called it's called Pico Park.
Have.
No.
All right, so it's like an indie game type. I believe the first game, like the original Pico Park, I think it's only on the Nintendo Switch. Let me
Is
see.
it?
Let me double check.
Is that? Am I thinking of the wrong? Am I thinking of the wrong park game then? Wasn't it like a park game where like you can play with multiple people
Yeah.
and you just try to get through a door or like they try to make
Yep.
the trials.
Yeah,
So I do
yeah.
know. I know very well then.
Yeah, so that's Pico Park. It's on Switch and Steam. But the second one, Pico Park 2, I didn't even realize they had a 2, is on Xbox. And I bought it. I played the first one with my kids, and then the second one we're playing with my kids as well, but we're playing on Xbox this time. And it's so fun. Like the puzzles are, it's like, it really, it makes you think. Like you don't realize how much thinking involved, because it's like a pixel game. Like it seems very simple, but it requires a lot of strategy. Like there was one where because it's 4 of us, it's my wife and 2 kids and me.
Oh,
So
you playing with your kids? Oh, I can already feel the anger.
no, I mean they're pretty good. So
Oh, so it's your wife then.
they, I'm not gonna lie, but
Let's see. Yep, I knew it.
um but yeah, so there's one where you're tied together with the
Together.
string. And like you can only go a certain distance from each other. And then there's one where because you have to get a key each map, you have to there's a platform that you stand on, but then the key is underneath and there's no other platform to get it. So somebody has to hang from like underneath, and then the other ones on top have to like maneuver so that way you don't fall off, but also stay up enough where you can get the key and move across the platform from underneath. It's very
Yep.
like like it sounds simple, but it's very complicated. It's really good. If you like puzzle
Oh,
games, Pico Park and Pico Park 2, I definitely recommend it.
I know that game. I know that game very well.
Yes.
Then
So, yeah, it's annoying, but it's fun. But
I'm not gonna lie to you. I played that game before with some other friends, and at a certain point, sometimes you just feel like being a piece of shit.
you just like, fuck that, I'm out.
Oh.
That's funny.
No, brother Zach, because there's a point they're like, oh, like to cross, like don't push the red button. After a while,
Oh
you're like,
yeah.
I'm gonna push that fucking button.
I want to see.
I'm gonna push that fucking button now.
Yeah, but
At a certain point, after you get mad at everybody, you're like, nah, I'm going to be the reason we're failing now.
yeah. I wanna mention too, because I'm still playing like Baldur's Gate 3 with my wife. We're almost done with our second playthrough, but it's funny because this playthrough we're playing it on what is it? Tactician mode, which is like I guess it's one step below honor mode, which is the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
And we're having an easier time than our first playthrough, which we played on the normal difficulty. And it's funny just because like how better I am as like my build. But it's also interesting because she is playing by herself. Has her own playthrough, but she's stuck on one part, and I think it's because of her her classes and who she picked as her partners. She's stuck on the answer fight, and she just can't get through it. And then I keep telling her because like we're starting to clear up all the missions in Act 3. And I keep suggesting, oh, let's do the answer fight. She's like, no, we're not doing that before I do. So now, like, I guess we're gonna put that off until last because she is upset that she can't do it, and she doesn't want to like go back to a previous save because it's too much that she had done. I'm just like, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
You gotta find some sort of strategy there.
Yeah, because I think she's a ranger, and she has Gale, Shadowheart, and Minthara with her.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and
What
I
a
told
team.
her, yeah, and I told like first of all, like you need your heavy hitters with you. You can't like this is like one of those brute force types that you need people to tank hits while also dealing a lot of damage. So
You can technically you could do that with Shadowheart if you had tweaked her build correctly.
and she did not, and I told her that because that's what I did in our run. I told her I was like, like everything I've heard from Shadowheart like online about people, it's like you gotta respect her. You gotta change her class or at least change her stats if you want to keep her the same class. Because her base stats is trash, but she didn't want to do it. So.
Damn.
Damn.
It's true. It's like an ongoing joke. I think even in the game they make a joke about it. In like the post game that she because she's notoriously like her aim sucks. She misses every single attack. So her best bet is like area attacks, so that way you can guarantee that you get hits. But like if it's like a singular attack to somebody, she's most likely gonna miss. And I think there's a line in the game where she's proud. She says that she actually got a hit for once or something like that.
That's
So the
crazy.
developers knew that they spec'd her poorly, and it's just become a joke. But
It's like we made it so that eventually she can be good, but only that the game makes it. That's hilarious.
but yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I thought it was funny.
Definitely. I guess we can jump right into the news then, right?
Hell
Sure.
yeah.
Let's start with some news out of Japan from Nintendo. Japanese police have arrested a 27-year-old man after bomb threats were sent to Nintendo's Kyoto headquarters. Letters containing threats such as "I'm going to blow you all up" and warnings that someone had already planted multiple bombs at the headquarters were received by Nintendo back in March. Now they had to obviously evacuate and check. It turned out that the planted bombs threat was a hoax, but they did find the man and they're charging him with obstruction of business, and they have yet to arraign him or anything like that. So there's more to come on what will happen of this man. But it's not the first time that Nintendo's Kyoto headquarters have been threatened. They have had threats before. In 2024, another 27-year-old man threatened a live event that Nintendo was supposed to be doing. They scrapped the event because of the threats, and they also charged that person with obstruction of business, and he ended up being sentenced to like 1 year of jail time because of it. So we have to wait and see what happens with this gentleman who decided to threaten. They don't know the motive yet. They just know that he made the threats, and they're still trying to figure out the motive.
It's so like random. Like this
Yeah.
is not a story I thought I'd ever hear.
Yeah. Now the first threat from the first man in 2024 that where they scrapped the live event was for he threatened Nintendo because he deemed Splatoon 3 to be a terrible game.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He plan to kill as many people as he can at the venue and make Nintendo regret releasing such a crappy game to the world. That was the threat from
What?
2024.
Wow.
We don't know what the threat was or what the reason was for this threat this year, but fans are absolutely crazy. Some fans are absolutely crazy to be threatening people with bombing people for a game release.
I want to say I'm surprised, but like I remember when what was it? Metal Gear Solid 4 was announced. Oh no. Was it? No, it was 3. Metal Gear Solid 3. Cuz originally the game was like well, I don't know the true story, but supposedly it was just going to be Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 and then they were going to like spin it off into something else because he wanted to work on other things naturally. But the fans pressured Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions into doing another Metal Gear Solid, so that's why they did Metal Gear Solid 3. And then he said he would like, this is it. Like, I'm not doing anymore. Like, no more.
And that's when the
And
bomb threats hit.
not even bomb death threats. They said they were gonna like kill him if he didn't
Jesus.
continue the franchise.
Jesus Christ, yo. Y'all are out of
And-
control.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to say I'm surprised that this happened, but like, this is like you
Yeah.
said, freaking gamers, they can be
People.
crazy.
They're called fanatics for a reason.
Yeah, and this is why like I try not to take this stuff too seriously because when you start going into that territory where you're wishing death upon other people, especially like notable figures who like their lives are more at risk than like regular guys like you and I or us, because we're not public figures, but they are. Like you could look up if you really wanted to, like where they would be and all that stuff. So it's like very scary that these crazy people can get that information and do stuff like this. Like, I don't know. It's just I wish I I would. Well, what headquarters? It was in Japan or was it?
Kyoto's headquarters, Japan.
Because I was gonna say this is like a U.S. thing, but clearly this is.
No.
Well, do they know what the like origin of like where this guy was? Was he Japanese or was he?
He's a Japanese man. Yes. Yes.
I was like,
I was gonna say it's an American issue with like mental health, but clearly that's not the case.
No, I wouldn't put that only on America. I think every country has their wild people.
That's true. I mean, I have heard that there is like some like mental health issues in Japan, but I've only heard it in regards to like loneliness and stuff like that and depression, because I've heard that they have like you can rent girlfriends, like not like prostitution, but like you
I
can
know what you're
rent
talking about.
girls to like pretend to be your girlfriend without anything sexual, just like go out on a date or to the movies and stuff like that. It's very weird, and it happens in Japan.
But they had their own little thing. You can rent
so-
out women for girlfriend. Technically, and also prostitution isn't considered cheating over there.
Yeah. I heard that too. So
It is what it is.
it's very strange, but yeah, this is the world we live in. Bomb threats for bad games.
Crazy.
And I don't even think Splatoon 3 is like that bad of a game. Was it better than 2 or the first one? Maybe not, but it's like, do people need to die over it? No, what? That's insane. Nobody needs to die over video games. And again,
You're not
that's why
You're not down for the cause. That's the problem.
that's why I never take this stuff seriously. I always like try to joke around and stuff, but some people do, and that's what's sad about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue. We have some more Nintendo news. They had a direct just in the beginning of this month, and it was for Star Fox. The game is simply titled Star Fox. It is a ground-up remake of Star Fox 64. If you played the Star Fox 64 game from Nintendo 64 way back when, and it does look great. It has some really great visuals. Some of the layout and the way it plays is very reminiscing of Star Fox 64. They've added multiplayer into it as well, and it does look like a really good game. They use the Nintendo Switch 2 controls very very uniquely. They have the mouse controls as well as having 1 and 2 players control one flight, one shooting, so you can play it like that. It was very interesting. I wonder if this is gonna push the needle for people to get more. Some people go out and buy the Switch 2. We know there is a price hike for the Switch 2 coming in September, but Star Fox comes out in on June 25th before that price hike. So maybe this will move the needle for Nintendo to get some more consoles sold.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly like nostalgia bait. Nintendo is the greatest at that. They always do that type of stuff. And nobody ever says anything about that, which is it's kind of funny that Nintendo is the only one who can get away with blatant nostalgia bait.
Nostalgia baiting, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I don't care. Like I fall for it too a lot of times. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just funny that people complain about it on anybody else but Nintendo. Um as far as like the game itself, and this direct came out of nowhere. Like literally it was announced and it said, "Oh yeah, in like 30 minutes we're about to do a direct." And it's like, "What?" what? No warning, no nothing. But yeah, so as I was never really that big of a Star Fox fan. Literally I found out about him in Smash Bros. And then I found out, oh, he had a game. Okay. He's not just a Smash Bros exclusive character.
Wow,
But
that's
listen,
crazy.
I was like
Look, I get it.
10. Like I don't know. I didn't know about games. If it wasn't Mario, I didn't care. But
I get I understand. I
yeah.
understand. I understand. I was in the same boat. I didn't know who Captain Falcon was for a bit too. I was like, what the fuck is this
Say
man?
Captain Falcon, Marth and Roy. I didn't know they had any other games, but that was just ignorant me. Uh, I while that being said, I'm not the biggest fan of Star Fox. I'm not also a big fan of the design. Not that like I care about the design that much. They're gonna be in the cockpit. It's not really that much of a big deal. But
Hey,
like it, they look weird. It felt like they tried to make them like realistic.
Yeah, like looking realistic animals, almost
Yeah,
like a claymation type with some. It's weird. Not
yeah.
claymation, but like more like realistic with the. It's just odd. It does look odd.
It looks, yeah, too like uncanny vet. Like the reason why Fox looks cool and like in the other games and in Smash Bros is because it's a stylized look. He doesn't actually look like how a real Fox would, but it works because it's a fantasy like full game. It's not meant to look realistic. So I don't know. I mean, some people don't mind it, which I whatever, that's fine if they don't care about the design. I do. Not that I care, not that I would buy this game anyway. It's not for me, but yeah, it was very random, very weird, and I mean, I hope for the people that want it, and I know a few people that are already getting the Switch too because of this game, which
Look at this.
yeah, there's like some people already said that they have theirs pre-ordered.
that's
Jesus.
hilarious.
I'm telling you, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Like,
I mean, I have a Switch 2 already, but I'm not even gonna buy this game. And I like Star Fox 64. It was one of my favorite games on the 64, on the Nintendo 64. So I'm still not gonna go out and buy this because it's like I feel like I played it already. It's done.
yeah.
I don't want more of this. I want something new. Give me a good new Pokemon game that's like actually rebuilt from the ground up.
Yeah.
Don't. No. No, I'm waiting for the next one, the Winds and whatever it's
Oh,
called.
winds and waves, yeah.
Winds
Winds
and
and Waves.
Waves. Yeah. Hopefully that one is built. That's something that I would have brought the Switch 2 for if I didn't already have one. So
Yeah, I'm probably in that same boat. It comes out next year. I always said, and I told everybody this, that I'm not buying the Switch 2 unless a new Smash is announced. So, I'll probably be more convinced when the new Pokemon comes out. but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, let's get to it because we have a lot to discuss, a lot of Xbox news. The first of which is Forza Horizon 6 is launching this week already. If you got it, you can play it, the premium edition early, which is what I've been doing. But ahead of that, Forza Horizon 6 leaked. The full playable build of the game leaked online, and players were able to play the game, mod it, and just go a little crazy. It was quite disastrous for Microsoft for it to be leaked like that. But the response from both Microsoft and Playground Games have been swift and heavy. They
Yeah.
have hardware banned people for 8,000 years if they cheated or modded the game. Literally 8,000 years. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, if you were caught and you were using the leaked build and you tampered with the game or the files in any way, your system will now be banned from any future games or anything for 8,000 years. Absolutely insane. People got like notifications that they were suspended for cheating, and from the Forza community team, the duration is really like 7 trillion hours. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they were
Man,
banning people from until December 31st, year 9999.
yeah.
Jesus.
Yes, they were not playing.
what
Luckily
what
though,
what
but
I don't, all right, go ahead, continue because
I,
I
I was
just
just
want to say because like
come on, say what
we
you gotta say.
no, it's fine. Continue.
I mean, well, I
Here we
was I was
go.
gonna say that even though despite the game was leaked fully online and people were getting bans on it, the game is doing still in I guess the premium editions versions of the game are doing amazing. They have a concurrent play of like 176,000 players. That's just on Steam alone. If you look at the files of the games, there's actually 1.9 million players playing currently. That's pre-release game. So the game is doing fantastic even before launch. So this very harsh blunder from Microsoft and the bans to the people, it didn't affect it nearly as much. And I think the bans really helped with that.
Yeah. What I don't get is, so supposedly in order to, I guess, verify or whatever, to like play the game early, you had to use your account. Why would anybody do that? Like, if you need to sign into your account to play a game illegally early, you already know you're gonna get banned. Like, that's just like 101.
His
Why would
problem.
you use your account?
His problem. You were thinking logically again. We talked about this. Not everybody does this thing logically think, yeah.
I mean,
We're
I
like,
guess,
oh, free game.
yeah, I guess maybe they just use like burner accounts in order to like bypass that, but still, it's just like, if you needed to go and sign into an account, like, that should already been GG. Like, it's not worth it. It's not gonna work. But yeah, that's it's people are just being stupid. And then there was
Absolutely.
like, they were saying, because I know, yes, it did get leaked, but people were saying like, oh, it was like Microsoft who forgot to like encrypt the files, and supposedly that wasn't the case. They
No, it
did
wasn't.
they did encrypt the files, but the whoever was like able to like crack it or whatever, they just did that, which, because I don't think Microsoft uses any like de novo or whatever anti-cheat stuff.
They have anti-cheat, but not like some of the harsh ones.
Yeah,
No.
it's not like the one that people don't like. So because of that, it's a lot easier to crack for pirates, but yeah, I
Yar.
think that I think that's just I think that's just what happened, that they were just able to crack it easier. And I mean, this happens all the time, not just with like Forza or whatever. Like, this is just the biggest one, and it got notoriety because of the harsh punishment.
Match.
It'd be one thing to like revoke the license, be like, no, you can't play. but like now they're like, you can't play forever.
It's on them. Y'all thought shit was cheap. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Such
I'm glad for the people at Playground Games who have worked on this game. We are still seeing success, even before release, even though they went through this whole, cracking of the game and everything.
Yes, they did see success, and it's getting rave reviews across the board. It's a good game, which is shouldn't be a surprise. Their last 3 games that they've made, or 4, have gotten above 90. So it's like, what do you expect?
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on. We'll move right along. We have some news out of Xbox. The CEO, Asha Sharma, has hinted at big changes coming to Game Pass, specifically for a big China expansion. Right now, Game Pass is not allowed in China, but I think, and that's mostly because of their regulatory environment with the Chinese Communist Party. But sources hint at a new Xbox codename that has now been verified in the Xbox Insider build as Project Saluki, which is aimed at having tiers specifically designed for the Chinese market, which would include obviously games that are approved by the Chinese Communist Party. And this is a big step because uh China's market for gaming is basically PCs only.
Yeah.
They have some consoles, they have access to like PlayStations, but mostly PC only. So having Chinese centric Game Pass tier only specifically for the Chinese market will probably do really well if they could just download it right on their PC and get access to some games that the Chinese Communist Party would allow on their particular platform.
Yeah, I'm very interested in like what games would actually be on this new Game Pass tier, because one thing that China is notorious for is censorship, where
Yep.
you have to basically water down your game in order for it to be approved to release over there, and that's why a lot of games don't get released over there, because they don't the publishers and developers don't want to do that. Um and there's also like very strict guidelines on like what you can like depict in your game, like in
Yeah.
regards to like religion and like social stuff, like if there's any trans characters or any like gay characters, stuff like that, like you can't just do that. You have to like rework the characters altogether. So yeah, I'm because I know there's a lot of different a variety of games on Game Pass, so it's like this is probably going to be a very small list of games that
Will
is going to
definitely
be
be
on this.
tailored toward the Chinese market.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to follow their rules if they want to break into that market. I mean, it makes sense. They have a billion plus people in China. A lot of people game, and the best way to get those people into your ecosystem will be to work with China to create their own, market for Game Pass.
yeah. I think
I
I
mean,
do
it's
wonder though. It's gonna be a different, like you said, it's gonna be a different selection of games. I do wonder if this means that they might try and get Chinese made games in there, like Wukong, because that's a big game, and I feel like that could also come to regular Game Pass as well.
I was gonna say it's a very untapped market technically, especially with all the censorship. But also, if you do have Chinese developers, it could lead to a thing where they could be a little more lenient in a sense, if you know what I'm talking about. Since a lot of them
Yeah,
already know what a lot of them already know the censorship and what goes around it, they might be able to. You might be able to really get into the
yeah.
tapping of it.
So yeah, supposedly the Chinese Communist Party wants to, I guess, they've started to get into gaming, and that's like we've seen it with a few releases already. So I wonder if this will kind of be like the more incentive, like you said, like maybe they might be a little bit more lenient, just so that way they can have a broader appeal. But who knows? We don't know what. It's kind of like a crapshoot when it comes to that region.
Yeah.
It's always the hell
Well,
always
they
will.
have they have some more code names that were leaked right alongside Project Saluki. I think it was Positron, codename Positron, which was a disc to digital entitlement program, which will take your disc and turn it into a digital license, so you have access to your games, even if, let's say, Project Helix would not come with a disc drive because it'll be an all digital console, so you'll still have access to play and have your games. Now the details about this program are very scarce. They have just the code name as well as a brief description, so we don't even know if this will be available anytime soon or to the public. But with the way the market has been going, with everything increasingly going toward digital, this seems like a plausible thing that Xbox would do.
Yeah, I think this is something that they tried to do when the Xbox One launched, and everybody gave them shit for it, mostly because it was mandatory. It wasn't like optional. I
Yeah.
do believe this is going to be an optional thing. Like if you want the benefits of digital, play anywhere, all that stuff, then you can do that, or you could just keep disc. Like it's up to the user. Um I do think this is a sign that physical is more closer than ever to going away. I know a lot of people dislike this. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of physical. I've been digital for uh over a decade at this point. Um but like that's by choice. Like I prefer digital. I would never say like, "Oh, I want the industry to go digital only." I do
Mhm.
understand there's a niche, not a niche, like a market for physical. Um, but I also am realistic. I it's happened with every other entertainment medium. It's happened with movies, TV shows, books. I mean, books are still around, but the thing is that it can always coexist. And I think that's what I want. I want there to be some type of coexistence. I won't advocate for the complete removal of physical, but for whatever reason, like that just seems like it's gonna happen. I don't see a future because we already seen like digital only uh consoles. Like we already have the Series S is digital only. We have the digital only PS5. Um I mean the Steam machine is gonna be digital only. So it's like um I don't know like what how could you continue to push physical if like, and not only that, it's also just the 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 metrics don't justify it, because we've seen time and time again is, I mean, and more specifically with PlayStation, I think in their last earnings call or something like that, they said I think like 87%, something like that, is digital only. Like digital sales, just digital sales. Physical is the other percentage. And that's crazy.
A
And that's
lot.
for, yeah, that's a lot. That's over what is it like? It's a lot. It's like
Yeah, it's a lot.
so that just shows that people are adopting digital more often, especially with the new generation of gamers uh coming into the platform and just like home consoles in general.
Mhm.
Um yeah, I just think it's something that's inevitable, and it sucks, but that's just how it is. Like I don't know what can be done to make sure that physical will always be a thing for gaming other than just buying physical, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And I realize I'm part of the problem. I buy digital. I'm not buying physical. Like I'm not
I don't
doing it.
think it's a problem. It's just for me, it's more convenient. I like having digital, especially with my Series X and especially with quick resume. Everything's just in and out, 1, 2, 3. I just love to have it, you know.
Yeah.
And I've never been a big like all collect all physical. I do have some games physical, especially if they're like collector's editions, like Starfield. I have physical. I have some games that are physical and it's cool. I have some, but most of my games are digital and they do that for a reason because it's just a little more convenient for me. And I like it.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm the
Let's.
same way. Like for me, it's all about, like you said, convenience. And I understand that some people take pride in like ownership of physical stuff, but for me personally, like anything that's entertainment media, I don't see the benefit of like owning it. I know that sounds weird, but like I rarely play games multiple times. Like only a select few, which like Kingdom Hearts, Metal Gear Solid, Mass Effect. Those are the only games I will ever go back and play again. Unless it's like an online game where I could just jump in or whatever. But yeah, so like as long as I have access to it, it doesn't matter if I own it or not. I can still play it. And I know that there is like a flaw to that logic because like what if it gets like the servers get taken out and stuff like that, but I've always maintained that like if like for example, if Xbox shut down their servers like 100% and they were going to be gone, there's a bigger problem at play that I wouldn't need to worry about than my access to games. And I some people don't think that way. They think like, oh, like if there's like nuclear apocalypse, I feel like we've had this conversation before, but like there's a nuclear apocalypse, how are you gonna play your games? Like, how am I gonna
I'm
even run
feeling
my
more in my
console?
life.
There's no electricity.
I feel like we have a different problem. My life is in danger. There's a nuclear apocalypse, but also
Yeah.
that's the only argument that really comes to mind when it comes to the digital stuff. Is that unfortunately when you lose these sort of things, you're like, oh, I guess now, because that's one of the arguments is that like if something happens, you don't get to play it, and then we had the whole thing with like Nintendo and like Sony being like, oh, you're only renting the game.
Right.
Like those are the type of things that I can see it being kind of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, even then, maybe it's just because I grew up going to Blockbuster and renting games on the
Facts.
regular. So it's like for me, renting is not a bad thing. Like a lot of people think that like, oh, you rent games, like you don't own it, like there's something wrong with that. It's like, no, I'm playing the game still. What does it matter? Like it doesn't
Exactly.
have
The
to be
game
mine to play the game.
Yeah, the game is an experience. You're experiencing this game, whether you have it digital or physical. Like, if you want physical, that's cool, man. You can get physical, but don't don't be mad at me because I got it digital and we're enjoying the same game. It doesn't make sense. Just play your games. That's it.
No, I want it owned. How dare you not want it like I want it?
Oh man, it's funny. It's tribalism, all it is, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's with every medium, with sports and video games. Every medium has that sort of tribalism they want to go back to.
That's
Oh,
a different conversation for another
yeah.
time. That's a that's a different podcast conversation, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on. We have a lot more still to get to. We have developers Double Fine, who created Psychonauts and Kiln, have laid the groundwork to become the latest Microsoft studio to form a union. And the CWA says that Microsoft has agreed to not interfere in any way with workers' rights to organize unions. So they're filing their petitions as of May 7th to organize the efforts with the CWA, which is the Communications Workers of America, to have a union for their particular studio, which is great. I think more developers have to do this. They have to unionize so that way they can protect their jobs and the future of the video game market itself. Because I don't know if you regular folks out there who are listening understand that once a video game comes out, a lot of the time developers are just like, "All right, thanks for working on it. See ya. You're gone."
Yep.
And that
Yep.
kind of that sucks a lot, to have your life's work. You worked 5 years on this game, and next thing you know, you're out of a job looking to work on other projects with even other developers because that's it. You're done. So more unions are a good thing, and we hope that Double Fine finds success in creating their union.
Yeah, 1000%. Like we've said it plenty of times before. Game developers need to unionize because this industry is way too cutthroat and sporadic in terms of like what can happen and what the future holds. So it's in every game developer's best interests to unionize and protect their jobs because these publishers, it doesn't matter who it is, they don't care. They will close down your studio. They will not let you like go independent. There's some that have, but it's not a guarantee, and that's the problem. So in order to protect your livelihood and your job, you have to unionize, and good on Double Fine for doing it. And I know a lot of people are making jokes about saying, "Oh, they just released Kiln and it's a flop, so they're unionizing to protect themselves." And it's like it doesn't even matter if Kiln was a success or not. They needed to do this regardless. Every developer needs to do this. So, yeah, good for them. Good for Double Fine.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on to some. I mean, this is out of left field. We have Gears of War E-Day. Some news about them. So, June showcase will happen. It will be Xbox's big showcase for the summer, and it will have a Gears of War Direct right after the showcase. But we have an unlikely sponsor. Their WWE's Backlash Premium Live event for AAA Lucha Libre sub promotions will be promoted by Gears of War E-Day in September 11th and the 13th. That's crazy to me because that's awesome. But does that mean we'll be getting some news about the potential release date, or maybe, I don't know, a closer date, or for June 7th when we see the showcase? Will they talk about the release? Is it that soon? Are we getting Gears of War E-Day in September? What do you think?
I think we are. So I noticed, because this is not the first time that a game has been a sponsor for a wrestling event. They've done it for a few times. I think they had one. I think it was last year with Doom: The Dark Ages. I know Fortnite has been a sponsor of them before. So it's like this is not unheard of. But usually when they do sponsorships, it's tied to something happening around that time. And in this case, it would be Gears of War, and I'm assuming the release date. So I'm gonna take a bold prediction and say that Gears is releasing either, because this is early September, so it's either gonna release late August or early September, or maybe mid September, because they've done sponsorships for games that come out afterwards too. So, what's funny about this though, and I don't know if you know this, so the the fan base for Gears of War is heavily Hispanic oriented. I don't know why. I don't
I do know.
know what the I don't know what the reasoning is and why
It's because of
Hispanic.
Dom. Let's just get it out of the
It
way.
could
It's
be.
because of
It could
Dom.
be. It's because it's most likely because of Dom. He was a very eccentric character to the story for the first 3 games at least. But yeah, especially in Mexico. Like there will be times I remember when I would play, I would get paired up with an entire team of just like Mexican gamers, and they would all be like they would have like the Mexican flags and stuff. Once they like started adding country flags to like you can add onto your banner or whatever. That they would have that, and it's just like it's so funny that like basically Xbox is acknowledging that and tying that into a Mexican wrestling event. So it's just like, yeah, we hear you, we know you Mexican fans, we know you love Gears, so there's a new one coming out. So I just think that's honestly it's smart marketing. That's be
Yeah.
real. They know their target audience. Um Yeah, and I'm just excited either way. Like I cannot wait for this game. I cannot
Oh
wait for
yeah.
next month. It cannot come sooner.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't. Oh my god. I'm so excited for Gears E Day. I don't know if people understand. I've read about Gears E Day. I've read books that had to
Yeah.
do with E Day and even the Pendulum Wars. I'm deep in the lore of Gears. Even my wife she's deeper in the lore in Gears than I am. We love Gears. And to think that we're gonna get a Gears E Day video game, I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, oh man, I'm so pumped for this game, man. Oh, I haven't been this excited for a game in such a long time. Like honestly, I'm more hyped about this game than I am GTA 6.
Fair
Listen,
enough. Fair enough. Gears E Day is I mean, I don't know if people understand Gears of War. E Day is something we never got to see or hear about. We just got to read about it. We got very small clips or just mentions of it in the actual mainline game. So it's like, this is huge. Gears E Day is huge in the lore of Gears of War.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play this game. I'm so excited. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And I'm more interested as well in regards to, like, they said they built this game from the ground up. It's not like a reskin, because I know one of the big complaints for the Gears of War games is that it felt like a reskin of previous Gears games. And that's not the case this time. Like, they're actually making this a unique experience. Like, they changed the gameplay enough to where it doesn't feel like the other games, and I'm very curious on how they do that.
It's gonna be amazing. That's all I know.
Yes.
It's gonna be amazing. All right, let's continue on. We got a little bit of PlayStation news before we end the show. This one is about Sony's and Bungie and their impairment losses of $765 million. Now, we had a little bit of discussion off of the show about this. I still in murky waters on what this all means. Because for me, it just means that Sony lost $765 million because they brought Bungie and they didn't earn as much money as they thought they would. I guess that's what it means. I'm not entirely sure. For me, it just means Sony made a bad call. But they did say that they will fully support Marathon, which is Bungie's latest game release. Um, I just think Sony fucked up big time. They spent way too much money on Bungie, and they didn't make enough money back. The Bungie that they purchased was a shell of the original Bungie, which they thought they were getting, and this just doesn't look good.
Yeah, I think it's clear that, I mean, even from the get-go, people were saying that Bungie was not worth the amount of money they paid for it. And it even got out not too long after that. Apparently, Bungie did go to Microsoft to purchase, and Microsoft was just like, "Nah, it's not worth it." So yeah, this is just a bad bet that Sony made, because they were so desperate to have some foothold in the live service industry. That's still like the most viable way to get consistent revenue, and they just couldn't catch a break. They've tried multiple times and they just couldn't. So they probably thought, hey, just buy Bungie. Like, they're up for sale. They have a very popular live service game. It makes sense, right? And it was clearly like a response to Microsoft acquiring ABK. Like, let's be real. They only did it because they saw Microsoft get ABK, and then they were just like, we gotta do something. So, yeah, but it just didn't pay off, and now they're suffering the consequences of it. And I don't know. I really, I don't know what this means for Sony's live service aspirations. I do think they still want it, but I don't know. The PlayStation audience just doesn't buy, at least from PlayStation. They buy all the third party stuff. They buy, the 2Ks, they buy Call of Duty and Battlefield, and they play Fortnite and all that stuff. But when it comes from Sony, and it's an online game, they just don't care. And I don't know what it is. Like they just don't care. So, and it's funny too because Sony just released a new, I don't know if it's like an update or if this is something that they're just testing. They released a new feature on their like store where they show the amount of players that are playing a specific game. Like if you look at the store page, and it showed basically two things. One, that the console like player base for a lot of the live service games is crazy big. At least that's just on PlayStations. That's not even counting Xbox or sometimes Switch. I think Call of Duty in particular had almost 5 million players. And that's it. I don't even think there's that much on PC. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't know the numbers specifically, but that's a lot for just one platform. And I'm sure it's like almost as much on Xbox. So it shows that there is a healthy player base for people on console that play like live service games, and it basically like kind of proves all the freaking dumb fanboys online who use Steam charts as their main metric for a game success. It's like, no, like there's so many more people on console playing these games. But anyway, it also showed that Sony is like so far behind when it comes to live service games, because like the top place or the top games played online on PlayStation, the top 10 I think had not a single PlayStation game. It was not even a single. There was two Xbox games, I guess Xbox owned games. It was Minecraft and Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a single PlayStation game cracked the top 10. And that just goes to show you that for whatever reason, PlayStation gamers just don't play PlayStation games.
No, they don't. They play Twitter.
Yeah.
I would say most PlayStation gamers normally are the ball and shoot gamers, to be fair.
True. And it's weird too because like Nintendo doesn't have this problem. So like I don't know what it is. It's just PlayStation gamers. Because if you look on like the top 10 of games played on Xbox, it's Xbox games. At least some of them.
You know
So
what it is? PlayStation is what iPhone is. It's a status. They got it just to say that I got a PlayStation 5. They got the iPhone just to say I got the latest iPhone. It does the same shit as everything else. They just got it for the status. Meanwhile, they're not even playing the
That's
game.
true.
They're playing Call of Duty. They're playing 2K. They're playing Madden, Fortnite, and Minecraft, which is available literally on everything. You know, it's just a status thing. And they want to say that their plastic box is better than everybody's plastic box. It's just dumb.
Yeah, and that's also true because like one of the biggest memes like in 2020 was like the PS5 secured, doing like whatever you got to do to get a PS5, and it's just like, like the Xbox is just as much, so it's like either way you're gonna be spending a lot of money. But no, like you said, is PS5 is the status symbol. You got same thing with like AirPods. I remember when AirPods was a quote unquote status symbol. Like if you ain't got AirPods, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's always funny when that stuff happens.
Let's move on to the last bit of news. It's more Sony bad news. I love to end on Sony bad news. Yep, call me a hater all you want. So Sony and Bandai Namco have announced a collaborative initiative focused on AI and the latest technologies can aid game development. So in Sony's corporate strategy presentation and earnings announcement, they announced a partnership with Bandai Namco, and it's an amplifier of human imagination and catalyst for new possibilities with generative AI. And I don't know about you, but I don't want more AI at all in video games. Game developers can use AI all they want as a tool to help them. But if they're going to collaborate with a company to use generative AI to build future technologies and to use generative AI in games, that's just a big no. No, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it is so strange that we are in a world where Microsoft, who was gung ho on AI just a few months ago,
Yep.
has completely turned like a 180 on it and now is like backpedaling and wants to actively get rid of AI features that they once were trying to promote. It's so strange that they're doing it, but they're doing it. And then now you have Sony and Bandai Namco who's leaning into it now. And it's like if one thing that you can count on is that despite Microsoft's like blunders, they know what is coming. They have the statistics and the data to show what is an emerging market, what is going to be popular in like a few years from now. What they lack and what they always struggled with is the execution. They always knew what was going to happen. They just didn't know how to do it correctly. And that was always their Achilles heel. So if you see them, regardless of like whether or not they're able to execute it or not, if you see them backing off from something, that should be a sign like, hey, maybe they know something that we don't. They're backpedaling off of AI after they were freaking gung-ho and partnering with OpenAI about this stuff. Now they're backing off of it. That should be a sign that maybe it's not the best time to dive into AI. But regardless, they're gonna learn their lesson. But also, I do want to like kind of like because there is a differentiation between different types of AI. I think a lot of times people forget that AI can be beneficial. It's just the type of AI that is used that people have issues with. The main one is generative AI. That's the one that people don't like. And that's the one that it takes input data, uses it to create something entirely new. That's what people don't want because that's the one that infringes on copyrights, that takes people's jobs, and is also freaking wrong a lot of the time. So that's the one that people need to be against, generative AI. Now, there is another type of AI that has been used for a long time that nobody has a problem with, that nobody should have a problem with, and it's procedural AI. That's where it takes input data and enhances that input data. It's the same thing, but better. That's like with AI upscaling and frame generation and texture increases in resolution and stuff like that. All that stuff, that's procedural AI. That uses whatever it's given and just makes it output better. Obviously, there's some it's hit or miss because it just depends on like the taste of some people. Like the same thing with like old school games that like if you play an old school like pixel game, it looks weird, but then if you run it on a CRT TV, it looks like how it was intended. So like there are like emulators that can mimic that. So that's more of like a taste thing. It's similar to this. Like sometimes a game is meant to be run at a certain resolution or a certain frame rate or something like that. So like when it runs higher than it's supposed to, it can look a little weird. It can look a little off. But yeah, I think that's the one that benefits gaming the most. And obviously there's other ones too that can help with like just development and like handling code and all that stuff. Like I'm not gonna get into the nitty-gritty, but yeah. I don't understand why Sony and it's not like they just said AI. They said generative AI and they said that's the future. And it's like, what are you doing, bro? It's like they said the exact wrong thing. Like it's like one of those things where it's like there's like a sheet that says do not say this, and they said that. So I don't know.
Degenerational mindset. Got it.
Yeah, it's like just say whatever, and it doesn't matter because they're gonna buy their games, or not because apparently they don't. But whatever. But they'll get a pass. That's the issue,
not from me.
and not for me. What is a shame though is Bandai that's attached to this. That's what I'm really disappointed with that, because
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised because I feel like it's an Asian company thing. Like they, for whatever reason, they just do whatever they're gonna do. But yeah, I expected better of them, but it is what it is.
Is what it is.
Oh,
That was all the news. We got through a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, from past few weeks, not few weeks, couple weeks that we missed last week. Yeah, we got through it.
We always do.
We always do.
eventual.
All right. Just remember, if you're watching on YouTube, you can like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to on a podcasting app, you can rate us and share us. If you look in the description, you can see our sponsors, W Energy and NordVPN. You can save some money off of subscriptions and products and all that good stuff. And that's it. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully, because I feel like we've been spotty with our scheduling, but it's just, holidays, right?
All the different things. Sick. It happens.
Life. But next week it should be good. I think we'll be able to.
We'll be fine.
We'll be high. All right, we'll see you guys then. Peace.
Later.